Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is another video from the Kubuce Cooperative Management Software. In today's tutorial, we'll be teaching the cooperative administrators on how to customize Kubuce to suit their cooperative. Using the few settings available or provided by Kubuce Cooperative Software, we'll be customizing our cooperative to suit the way our cooperatives operate. But before moving on, I would still like to urge you guys to subscribe to this YouTube channel so as to receive notifications and updates on tutorials such as this. So, as usual, you have to log into your cooperative account as an administrator to be able to see these settings. So if you've done so, on the navigation pane on your left hand, we have this blue bar. That is if you are on a desktop device. But if you are not, there will be a square box with dots on your Android device. So if you should click on it, a drop down appears where you see this setting icon, this gear. So on desktop, it's at the corner here. If you are not seeing it on your desktop, kindly try to scroll through. You'll definitely see this icon. So click on it, it brings you to this setting page. As you can see, settings. Here we can set a lot of things. A lot of things can be set from this particular page. The first thing here we have is account type / loan category. Now, what we mean by account type here is this: your equity, your patronage, and your custom. Although you're not actually creating these accounts here, you are creating it as a category. If you click here, you see equity, you see patronage, you see custom. So whichever one your cooperative is using, you can just select and then click on create. It's as simple as that. You see a message that says account created successfully. So we've created equity. You can as well create patronage and do the same. Also the same for custom. Just note that all you did is creating equity, patronage, and custom categories. Also for the loan, we have the loan category. Here we enter the type of loan. If it should be long-term, short-term, they are categories. So we create them here by entering it short-term and then click on create category. The category is automatically created. Loan category created successfully, as you can see at the top right of the screen. We also create another one called long-term loan. Click on create category, category created successfully. So if we've created account category for equity, patronage, and custom, as well as loan category. So we'll be moving down. We now have the next step, which is new cash repositories. Create cash repository. Now this cash repository simply means the account your cooperative is operating on, either a bank account or a local account. We'll talk more on local accounts. But the ad bank, that is the account, the bank account your cooperative is using. So if you click on select bank, we have a list of banks here. If your bank is not here, kindly notify Kubuce and we'll definitely add it here. But as at the time this software was um, created. These are the list of banks that we could add. So I'll be selecting one of the banks and entering an account name of test Coop. Please note that this account name is the account name of the bank account you are entering here. We'll also enter the account number. Ensure the account numbers are correct and they must match with the name provided. Now, in the case of amount, simply because you are new to this system and maybe your cooperative has been in existence, the amount to be entered here is the balance at the bank as at the time you are creating this bank account on this system. If your cooperative is a new one and you just created your account, there is no money in the bank, you can say 0. Same thing if your cooperative has been existing but the money in the account is 0, you can just specify 0, of which I have done here, specified 0, and then you click on add. Automatically this account is created, but something else happened behind the scene. What happened is this: these bank accounts were not created for each member. Let me elaborate. Each member now have an e-wallet that is tied to every account created from this place. Every bank account created, each member has an e-wallet of that account tied to that account. This e-wallet is only used by this system, by the members, for transparency purpose. So if you have a member account, you can as well log into your member's account and then see what we have just done for yourself by clicking on the e-wallets link on the left menu if you're on the system, although admin do not have an e-wallet, but members do have e-wallets. Then the next thing we have here is create local account. Now this local account simply means money at hand. What we mean by money at hand is, in the case of the treasurer who might always have cash at hand, or members do remit some specific amount of money to the treasurer, maybe during a meeting or so, or in any case maybe depositing money into their accounts, their personal accounts as a member. You want the admin to deposit money into your account as a member. Cash can be given to either the president or the treasurer, whoever handles cash in the cooperative. So the cash is given to that member, to that admin, but not all admin can hold cash with this system. Only admins created in this place of create local account should be able to hold cash by this system's rule. So whoever is holding cash for your cooperative should be what you create here. First thing it says, enter fund holder name. So who is holding this fund? Might be the treasurer. You enter the person's name. You can enter it in full. Oh, that's an error. you select the person's position in the cooperative. If it's the president, the vice president, secretary general, financial secretary, treasurer, member, whoever that person is, select the person's position. Now, same thing as the bank, where we have amounts, we then have opening balance here. The same rule applies. If the money in this person's hand is 0, specify 0. But if there is a specific amount with this person, specify the amount here. Currently, we have 0, and then you add. Then it says account created successfully. Also note, this account created was not created as an e-wallet to all members. It is created only once, but used by the admin alone. Moving on, we have loan access control. Under it, there is a small note that says a member is allowed to collect the sum of all his or her total financial holdings multiplied by the value of the imputed figure below as loan. Please set the fee below equal to 2 to let cooperative members borrow above their current financial holdings. Let me elaborate more on that. Loan access control. It says enter a number to be multiplied by the required loan. By default, once your account is created or once the cooperative is created, by default it is set to 2. Now, members who wish to seek for loan, in the process of applying for this loan, their holdings, if present, if available, is multiplied by this figure. That is to say, if a member is having 5,000 in his holding, multiplied by this figure here is 10,000. That means the member is eligible to seek a loan of 10,000. The reason for that is to satisfy this loan. That is, in the case of repayment, we are sure that this loan this member is trying to collect, his or her holdings will be able to repay this loan. That is the reason for this loan access control. Now, there are other situations whereby a member who is well known by the cooperative, most especially the cooperative administrators, this member is well known and wish to seek for a loan which is above his financial holdings, but the system restricted him to collect that. The system will actually prompt him, telling him that his holdings is not enough to seek for that loan he wishes to collect. Now, the admin, simply because you know this person, maybe the person always pay back their loans, or is actually true to himself, that is, his integrity has been proven, the admin can then set this loan access control equal to the amount that member wishes to seek at that moment. Now, this place is critical. If changed to suit that particular member, ensure that it is revised back to the default or to the default setting of your cooperative. Your cooperative might be operating 3, and this member wishes to collect a loan, his holdings multiplied by maybe 6. So you come here and set the loan access control to 6. After this member has applied for this loan successfully, ensure you come back here and change it to the default of your cooperative or the Kubuce. It cannot be set below 1. If you should try it right now, it prompts an error. It says loan control access must not be less than 2. So you can set it to 1. By default, it is 2. So you can set it to any amount you wish that your cooperative operates, and whenever someone wants to take a loan that is above his holdings, which you also want to grant, you can come here and maybe set it to 6 and then update. It updates the loan access control, then the member's holdings will be multiplied by 6. So moving on, we have minimum amount. On this minimum amount, it's actually not necessary, it's not important, but the reason for it is this: there is a place on the member's profile when they are about to seek for loan. That page is called loan calculator. There it calculates the interest and charges, everything for that particular amount the person wishes to collect. So if you have seen that place before, you might notice 0000 in some places where it says quick amount. Now, the minimum amount your cooperative give out as loan can be set here as well. Any amount can be set here. But what happens is this: on that page of the loan calculator, where you might see 000 or you might see specific amounts, what happened there is this: for each of those boxes you see under quick amount, whatever you set here is multiplied or it's incremented by 1 for each of those boxes. That is to say, if you should set 10,000 here, what happens is, on that page, the first box will be having 10,000, the next one will be having 20, the next one will be having 30, up to 60,000, because there are 6 boxes there. So that's what it's just for. When a member wants to apply for a loan, instead of manually entering the amount he wishes to collect, maybe he can just see the amount he wants there, and just on the click of a button, it automatically selects that amount. So you can just update here to 10,000. So it updates automatically, and then moving on to the next one, we have administrative access / sundry settings. Here we create sub-administrators such as the Vice President, Secretary General, Financial Secretary, Treasurer, etc. Whatever category of admins you have, you can create them here. But note, you can't create any sub-administrator if you don't have them as a member of the cooperative. That is to say, you must have created the members of the cooperative before setting this. If you check the YouTube channel, you will see one of our videos which we have taught on how to create your cooperative members. So a list here is showing the list of members of this cooperative, and one of them in here might be the treasurer or might be the secretary general. So we can just select one and then select the position of this person and create admin. Automatically sub-administrator created successfully. Now the reason for this is because there are some actions that could be carried out by these specific positions. In the case of loan or payment voucher input into the system, if the cooperative do not have general secretary or treasurer, whoever imputes that payment voucher, if it is being done by the president, something happens, that voucher is automatically approved, simply because there is no treasurer, there is no secretary, or there is no treasurer. In fact, there is no treasurer. It's automatically approved. But in the case whereby there is a treasurer, the treasurer must approve that voucher entered by the president. Same thing goes for the treasurer. If the treasurer should upload any payment voucher, the voucher is being approved by the president before it reflects on the account. That's the reason for this sub-administrator. That's one of the reasons. Also, same applies for loan. The admin, as the president and the treasurer, approves the loan. That's that for sub-administrative info or sub-administrative access. Now we have create sundry period. There's an instruction that says please leave blank if not operated by a cooperative. Let me elaborate on this. Sundry period simply means the time at which a loan should be moved either to sundry debtor or sundry creditor. Now, a member of the cooperative who have been inactive for a number of months, because the number that should be provided here should be the sundry period, that is in months. It can be 1 month, it can be 2 months, it can be 3 months. So whatever period you think a member who is inactive should be moved to sundry debtor or sundry creditor should be set here. The sundry debtor and sundry creditor is not being operated manually. It is automatic if set here by the admin. That is to say, if a member is on any loan and has not been paying his loan or has not been paying his monthly dues and is on loan, each time the Kubuce bot runs, it checks for the last time that member operated his account. If the member is on loan, some actions are taking place. But in the case of the sundry period, if the member has been inactive for this period you set here in create sundry period, the period is set here, if the member has been inactive for that period and is on loan, his holdings is used to settle that loan, and if there is a balance still on the loan, the member is moved to sundry debtor. Else, that loan is closed, and simply because there is no money in the person's holdings, there is no money in the e-wallet, the account can be left dormant. But if the person's holdings used to settle that loan and the loan was settled completely, and this member still has a balance after the loan has been settled, it's automatically moved to sundry creditor, simply because for the past number of months set here, he has been inactive on the system. So if this system I just explained now is not being operated by your cooperative, leave this field empty. If you don't understand, you can as well repeat this video. Moving on, we have cooperative fine setting. We also have a note under it that states edit cooperative operations details such as loan regrant percentage, overdue loan incurred interest, external participant proration percentage, and fine payment method. Also, there is a big text saying if this feature is not in use by your cooperative, please leave blank. Kindly follow instructions. Here we set loan regrant percentage. Loans, when created, have their default percentage of interest. In a situation whereby a member has been unable to pay his loan completely before the due date, if this loan is being regranted, either the interest is collected based on the default percentage that was set initially, or the same percentage the member paid while collecting the loan. But if the regrant percentage is set here, the default percentage of that loan is overridden, and then this one set here as fine is used to regrant that loan. I hope I'm clear. The next thing we have here is patronage default. Members who are not paying their loans, their patronage, as maybe thrift savings or whatever name you call it, that is supposed to be paid on a monthly basis. If members are not paying such, for every month they did not pay, they will be fined based on the amount set here. Currently, proration percentage is not in use on the system, but the loan default is being used. The case where the loan default is used is this. A member is on loan and is supposed to be paying back on a monthly basis. And this member has to pay for a specific month, but do not pay. The Kubuce bot runs and checks such members. What it does is this: it checks the member's e-wallet if there is any money that can satisfy the amount that member is supposed to pay for that month. If there is, it's being withdrawn and used to settle the loan for that month. But if there is no money in the user's e-wallet, the member is being fined by the loan default. Whatever amount that is set here, a fine is being generated for that member. This fine can also be paid by the Kubuce bot. This Kubuce bot, it's an automated software embedded inside the Kubuce software. What it does is it checks the accounts of all members and also reduces admin's workload by paying members' loan if there is money in their e-wallet, and if there is none, it fines them automatically. and after fining them, these fines are being deducted from their holdings. It might happen same time the member was fined. At the same time, the member can also pay that fine off if there is money in his holdings. If there is no money in the holdings, it just moves on. So there was nothing for it to do. The admin has to then come into place and settle that issue. Moving on, we have the last item here that says charges. We have set a biller. It says please leave blank if you are not operating this feature listed below. The only feature we have here is the statement of account printing fee per member. When we say per member, we also mean per page. When a member is trying to print their statement of account from this software, if an amount is set here per member, whenever they are trying to print their statement of account, this money set here is either being deducted from their e-wallet or from their holdings while printing their statement of account. I believe that's a method which Kubuce has incorporated for cooperatives to be able to generate income. And that's a big plus to cooperative societies who will wish to use this feature. At this point, we have come to the end of customizing your cooperative or customizing Kubuce to suit your cooperative. And on that note, I will say thank you for listening and thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Kindly subscribe to the YouTube channel to receive updates like this, and also ring the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever updates like this are being posted. Also, give this video a like if you find it useful or helpful. Goodbye until we meet